The text hit my phone at 11:42 p.m., simple and jarring. I need some space. Let's take a break. My chest tightened as if someone had slammed a door inside me. I stared at the screen, the glow illuminating the disbelief in my own eyes. A break? After 12 years of marriage, shared dreams, and a 6-year-old daughter who still left sticky fingerprints on every surface of our home? I wanted to scream, to demand an explanation, but all I could manage was a hollow silence. The next morning, I tried to convince myself it was temporary. Stress, work pressure, some fleeting confusion. Maybe she just needed a moment to breathe. But the unease clung to me, gnawing at every conversation, every glance. I noticed the little things I'd ignored before. The late nights at work, the quick phone calls she brushed off, the sudden interest in things that had never mattered to her. 3 days later, I followed a thread I swore I wouldn't. I drove past her favorite cafe, a small, quiet place she claimed she went for peace and coffee. My stomach twisted as I saw her laughing. Leaning close to a man I recognized instantly, Mark, her ex from years ago, the one I always thought was a harmless chapter. They touched, just a subtle brush of hands, but it sent a shockwave through me that knocked my words and thoughts into chaos. I parked a few blocks away, heart hammering, and watched. I felt like a spectator in my own life, a man whose world was cracking apart silently. My mind swung between denial and disbelief. Maybe they're just friends. Maybe she's explaining something. Maybe every possible explanation sounded pathetic, weak, hollow. The truth was screaming at me in the way she tilted her head, the warmth in her laugh, the way he reached for her hand. That night, I confronted her. I tried to mask the storm behind measured words, though my voice shook despite the effort. Who was at the cafe today? I asked. Her eyes widened, a flicker of panic I couldn't ignore. Oh, just Mark. We ran into each other. That's all, she said, a nervous laugh attempting to cover the tension. That's all. I repeated, each word heavy with disbelief. You've been meeting him? She looked away, biting her lip. My chest tightened, and for a moment I couldn't breathe. It's not what you think, she whispered. But the words were empty, thin as air, and I knew they were lies. The following week, I noticed the patterns I had missed. The subtle text she left on the kitchen counter. The way her phone screen lit up whenever she thought I wasn't looking. The hurried explanations that didn't add up. Every clue was a dagger, a small confirmation of the truth I refused to accept. Then, the undeniable moment. I was driving by the park near our old apartment when I saw them again. Mark's hand resting on her shoulder, her head leaned against his chest. I felt my blood freeze and then burn. I pulled over, shaking with anger and despair. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't fleeting. This was betrayal, deliberate and painful. I went home, heart pounding, and made a decision that surprised even me. I didn't confront her immediately. I didn't yell. I didn't cry in front of her. I gathered evidence. Texts, receipts, moments captured in photos. I watched, silently, like a shadow, while the truth unfolded. The pain was almost physical, a heavy, unbearable weight. But I knew I needed to control this chaos, not let it control me. When I finally confronted her in front of our closest friends and family, the room went silent. I laid everything out, dates, messages, evidence. Her face went pale, words failing her, and I felt a strange mixture of relief and sorrow. Relief that the lies could no longer fester, sorrow that the woman I had loved so completely had chosen deceit. I thought we were building something real, I said, my voice steady but trembling beneath the surface. But you chose him. She didn't argue. She couldn't. I turned to leave, my daughter clutching my hand, eyes wide and confused. I whispered, "We'll be okay, just you and me," feeling a strange sense of strength I hadn't known I possessed. The aftermath was painful, messy, and quiet. Divorce papers, heartbreak, whispered apologies. But in the wreckage, I found clarity. I didn't need to stay chained to betrayal. I didn't need to define myself by her choices. I was devastated, yes, but free. Months later, friends remarked on the calm in my eyes, the quiet confidence. I didn't tell them it was born from heartbreak. that it had taken watching her with someone else to realize my own worth. What had been stolen, the trust, the shared life, was gone. But what I gained, my own strength, my daughter's unwavering love, my resolve, was mine forever. Betrayal cuts deep, but the healing comes from reclaiming your life, step by step, breath by breath. And in that painful clarity, I finally understood sometimes the most shocking endings lead to the strongest beginnings.